Hey everyone, I figured I got some time before I have to leave for Vegas so I can do a video here of some more of my books, my collection of the monster at the end of this book. So here we go. All right, this is the largest book I have in my collection. Here it is compared to the Little Golden Book, so you can see, give an idea of how large it is. Almost twice the size. About 1.5 times the width, 1.5 times the height. But this one I just recently picked up, and it's a fairly modern version because it has, along with it, it has a DVD right here inside the front page. So you can put in the DVD, and as you're reading the book, Grover will be reading the book along with you. All right. Here's my next size. It's the same height, a little wider. This one's interesting in the fact that it is an early version. Copyright 1977. Whether or not they made this size prior to that, I do not know. I haven't found one larger than, or this size earlier than that yet. So this may be a first edition of this large size, but I'm not positive. But there is one thing that's unique about this book. On the normal book, on the first page, it says, this is a very dull page, what's on the next page? And then they have you, from the copyright page, you flip the page and it tells you, oh, what did that say on the previous page? This book is the only one I have that the beginning is a little different because they asked just, what does that say? That comment, rather than what did that say, he doesn't talk about what was on the front page, or this being a very dull page. But otherwise, every other page is the exact same. I like to call this my senior edition because I have no problems reading the writing on this one, even without my glasses. Okay? And I actually have 3 this size. This one, the back page of the story is actually the back page of the book, which I found interesting. The other 2 that I have that are this size, they have the start the same as the normal book. This is a very dull page. What's on the next page? This one was copyright. This was the second printing, 78. So I just answered my own question. If this one was in 77, it must be the first printing. If 78 was the second printing. Yep. And on the back, it gives a statement saying that the book was made by Sesame Street and proceeds are going to the Children's Television Workshop. That's the way all of the earlier books were. None of the profits, all the profits went to fund Sesame Street. So this is the second printing, and this is, I believe, the 6th printing in 1980 of this larger book. It's the same, got the same back. I probably bought it because I forgot I had the other one. All right, now we're getting a little smaller. This one is actually a fairly newer one. This one was went through a group called Kohl's Cares, which is the Kohl's department stores was selling these and giving profits to support children's initiatives and stuff, and families and communities and stuff like that. So that's what this one was. And I believe, just like the other one, I think I forgot I had one of these too, so I bought a second one. I keep on forgetting what I have in my collection. Yeah, this one was given to someone, Troy Stephen Harkins, in 2019 for Christmas. And this is another Kohl's Cares one, but I bought this one because the back is different. It has the U-turn of the page, just like the t-shirt I got on today. Now this one, same size, maybe just a little bigger. But this one my sister Monica gave me for, I believe it was Christmas. But they made a sequel to this book called Another Monster at the end of this book, which I personally don't like, and we'll talk about that in another video, but I just figured I'd show that saying how this one actually has both the monster at the end of this book, and when you get halfway through it, it has another monster at the end of this book. So both books are in the same binding. All right, so here we're starting to get a little smaller. As you can see from the little smaller. This one, though, I like because it was a library, Harris County Public Library book. This belonged to the public library. It's actually in pretty good shape considering it was a library book. Probably because it was never checked out by people, because a lot of people bought their own copy of this. It's still got the sticker on the end that helped you find it on the shelf. All right, now this is an interesting one because it has sound buttons over here, and it's also what they call a board book. So all the pages are thicker than a normal pages. And this one I found on eBay, but my sister Judy had sent me this here little clipping from the newspaper. This was, I believe, from a Costco ad, where Costco had it for sale. I found mine on eBay. So I kept that little clipping, and I also have with it her granddaughter did a little thing where she basically copied the cover of the book, The Monster at the End of this book, starring lovable furry-old Grover. Raylan is her name. So I keep that with this book along with the clipping. But as you read this book, you'll see that there is buttons. It'll show you here, and you push the button that matches it.
Wait a minute. What did that say?
And Grover will read the book.
What did that say? Did that say there will be a monster at the end of this book?
And then as you go through each page, you push each button when it shows you a square. Okay, so that's the board book. And I also have another one of these. That is, where is it at? Well, I got another one, sound book, that's a little smaller. I can't find it right now, though. Okay, so now let's go on. And again, I forgot I owned this book already, but I bought a second one. And it's okay because the second one I bought is in better condition. This is actually a fairly modern version too, 1922, I think. 50 years of Sesame Street, so that Sesame started 69, 70, so this was about 1920. And it's also thicker pages, but the reason why it's thicker pages is because this is what they call a interactive book. So as we go through it, yeah, an interactive adventure. As you go through it, there's things that you can do, like open up pages. You turn the page. Or you can pull on the little stringy here. Or you can roll this around. I forget all the stuff you can do, so that's what I'm doing it right now, just so I can see. And you can move this here around, bonk, bonk. And then you can pull this here out. And then it's just lovable old Grover. Pull that one first, then you pull this one. I told you there was no... I think there was another page that I was supposed to pull down. Oh, here's the brick page, lifts out. Oh, this is actually, this story is missing part of it. It doesn't have the please, please, please part of the story like the other books had. I never noticed that. Or the all right. There's fewer pages in that book. This page is not in that book. And this page is not in that book. But that's okay. It's not supposed to be there. Here I have another one made by the same company. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. I accidentally pushed the sound button on it. There's another one that had a DV in it. But the format's a little different. It was done by the same company as the last one, but it actually has a case for the DVD. So you pull it out and you can see the case has the monsters in it. This one I opened and I watched the video when I first got it. And so then I had to buy one that's not opened. Or did I? Yeah, this one's not opened yet. So I bought a new one not open and one I opened. All right, these books here are, I believe, and I think I got 3 of these. This one's not in very good condition, but that's okay. I'm going to use it. Well, I'll show you guys later what I'm going to use it for in a different video. Yeah, 1971. So I think this was a first printing, but it was not a little golden book. It was printed by the same company, and it's a little larger. So it was same book, same story. Just not part of the Little Golden Book series. Copyright 1971. And that's what this one is too. This is another one. Jelly Bean books. Just for preschoolers. And I believe this one also gave... this one they says was specifically designed to be read to children 3 to 5. Children's Television Workshop. But this was also just the same, except it was different because of the fact that it was from Jelly Bean Books. I bought it. It's a fairly newer one. I'm not sure about the date because they do this where there's numbers rather than dates. So if you don't know what those numbers mean or which printing was done when, you don't really know when. But it's a fairly modern book. You know, it's fairly modern because it has websites that you go to. All right, here's the other sound book I found. It's smaller, and it's not the board book pages. I've never realized there's a bunch of writing. Oh, battery replacement, in case you want to replace the battery. But this is just like the other one, where when you come to this here, you push the button. And it was done by the same company, Phoenix International Publications. It's the one that did the other sound book too. It's just smaller. It's just a little bit bigger. Matter of fact, it's narrower than the Little Golden Books. But now here's an interesting thing I got here. This is the only 2 copies I have. They're the same paperback versions, and these were actually made in Australia. What's interesting, I never noticed this, but it says this is very dull page. That's interesting because they actually changed the story because it was supposed to be the copyright page that they originally said it was a very dull page. So the pages are just pages are a little different. Yeah. Scholastic Sydney's. So this is from Scholastic Australia. And what Scholastic books are is that's where schools could hire scholastics to come in, and they would do a book fair at your school, and some of the proceeds of the profits would then go to the school. We have that in the United States too, but they have it in Australia. This is the only version I know of that was printed in paperback. So that's one of the reasons I bought it, plus because I didn't have it, and it was different. And I like the back page. I bought the second one because the first page was a little crinkled, but it turned out the second one had a little crinkled too. But, you know, you got to expect that from paperbacks. Okay, now here we get into this. Here's a smaller one. It's actually smaller than the original by about half the size. And what this is this is a board book, and it's designed for, you know, young kids that don't know how to turn pages very well yet. But the same story. But because I didn't have a board book at the time, I bought it. All right, and now we have 2 more board books here, but they are a little larger. And then this one is the same size as the Little Golden Books, and it's still even called a Little Golden Book, but it's just a board book version of the Little Golden Book. Here's this one's for the Kohl's Cares that donates money to families and stuff. Yep. See if there's anything different about this book. I don't think there is as far as the storyline. It's missing the page, copyright page, because the copyright page was put on the back, so it doesn't have the statement that this is a dull page. All right, so now this is the last one I'm going to do today, and this will be all the way through. No, I take it back. I'm going to do a couple others after this one. This is the only one I know that isn't titled The Monster at the End of this book, but it's based on the book. And they call this one, for some reason, Please Do Not Open the Book. What this is this is a pop-up book. So as you come through here, kind of like the one interactive book, except this is a little better. And this here, you're supposed to pull these in. But this one here is broken. This one kind of, you can get Grover to pull on the rope. This one's broken. When I bought the first one of these, I realized there was one of the things was broken, and they had described it as a perfect condition book. So I said, hey, what's up with that? And so they gave me my money back on that one. So what I did was I found a couple others, but the problem is every single one of them has something wrong with it. You can see this here, the colored stars change color. And on here, bing, bonk, bang, bam. Just like you would see in the cartoons, or not cartoons, but the show Batman back in the 60s, or the comics. And this here, you pull out it, and there's Grover nailing the hammer, or hammering the nail. I think I reversed that. And here, he's putting the wall, and then there we go. The page comes out. And then here on, we get to the 10. Here's the one that has the please, please, please that comes down. Please, please, please. Please don't turn the page. And then you get at the end of the book, and it opens up, and there's Grover comes on out. So my plan is, out of these 3, is to maybe fix one so that all the things function on it. That wasn't too bad. Only one thing that page didn't function properly. So that's those. Okay, so now we have this here I bought, and it's a miniature version. You can see how much smaller it is. And it came in this little box, so I kept the little box. I have one box that's mint, and then this one that I opened. There's the mint one that I haven't opened yet. And I gave one to, because I have about 3, I gave one to a friend for her birthday. And it comes with a little Grover back. You can put them on your backpack. I have not put this on my backpack yet, because I don't use a backpack. I have one. I have a couple, but I don't use it anymore. All right, so there's that one. And if you thought that you couldn't get any smaller as far as book size, you would find out you would be wrong. Because I have here that's the smallest one I have that's actually readable. I have here, I found a person on eBay that sells Dollhouse versions, and this here is a Barbie size book. The pages don't open, but it's a display piece, which I thought was kind of cool, so I had to have it. And if you thought you couldn't get any smaller, you'd be wrong. Because she also makes them in 1/12 size. So that would be that size. Boy, we're getting small, aren't we? So that's a 1/12 size Dollhouse book. And if you thought you couldn't get any smaller, you'd be wrong again. This is one that I found on eBay from a gal from Sweden that made them. And that's a little smaller. She didn't specify what, it's a Dollhouse version, but she didn't specify what scale it was. And if you thought we couldn't get any smaller, again, you would still be wrong. Because here's one that's 1/16 scale. And if you thought we couldn't get any smaller, you would still be wrong. Because here's one that's 1/24 scale. Which is only about a 1/4 inch tall. So that's all of the books that I have, specifically of the monster at the end of this book. My next video will show some of the other stuff I have, stuff from the McDonald's sale, necklace, keychain, t-shirts, stickers, etc. That'll be in my next video. Thank you very much.